A new on Live at 5, 4 people are in the Chambers County Jail tonight, accused of stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from dozens of people in our area.
Mount Bellevue police started the investigation, and they say the alleged crime involves stolen data from the dark web. ABC 13's Courtney Carpenter is live in Mount Bellevue with the latest on this one. Courtney.
Yeah, Eric, police tell us they know of 35 victims of this particular scheme, and these people didn't click on anything or give out their banking passwords. They simply woke up one morning to find money missing from their accounts. And it was back in June when Mont Bellevue police realized a trend with some fraud reports, found a few other local departments were working similar cases, and then connected the dots to determine they believe a local group of people are responsible. So far, 40 total arrests have been made, some as far away as Georgia and Illinois, but many were here in the Houston area. These 4 people, all from Baytown, are who police say are the ringleaders: Gregory Edwards III, Doc Frank, Jason Gibson, and LaJewel McGilbray. They are all charged with money laundering and engaging in organized criminal activity. Police say they got a hold of financial information off the dark web from data breaches and used it to then wire money out of people's accounts. The total amount of money police say they stole is somewhere between $360,000 to $600,000. Many of the other arrests that were made were people accused of letting these guys use their bank accounts to funnel the stolen money.
Once they get the information, they start making wire transfers out of the victims' bank accounts. But in order to be successful, they have to transfer that money into a clean account. And then that's where they begin recruiting other people.
Now, Chief Ellison says that most of the other people arrested were friends or family of those main 4 organizers in this, but they said they did do some advertising on social media, kind of advertising folks to make a quick buck by helping them out. Now, coming up at 6:30, we'll have some more information on what you can do to try not to end up a victim of a scheme like this. Reporting live here in Mont Bellevue, Courtney Carpenter, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
So y'all just heard that audio right there, and I have to say this has got to be one of the most interesting and elaborate schemes I think I've heard of, because I don't think I've ever heard of a scheme happen in the way that this did right here. So you see these 4 individuals right here who engaged in a massive fraud scheme using collective data off of the dark web in order to get these people's financial information and as well as their money. Imagine you are just sleeping one day and you wake up and you see your money is gone and you have no idea how it happened. You didn't sign anything, you didn't click on any suspicious links, none of that. But somehow your money is just gone and you have no clue how it happened or who did it. That's what they pulled off. And that's scary, because while they use dark web data in order to get these people's money, imagine if they was able to do that outside of the dark web in order to get people's money on a surface level. That's some scary stuff right there. That's why they say you always got to make sure your financial stuff is in order, because you just never know what kind of schemes and fraudulent things people are doing out here in order to collect your information and get your money. Now, they said 40 arrests have been made so far, but these 4 right here were the ringleaders. They said that this scheme and operation ran as far as Georgia and Illinois, but as far as the hub, many of the people resided in Houston, where these guys are at. I'm telling you, it's scary out here. That is very scary. And as a person who has been a victim of fraudulent activity on multiple occasions, especially when I was younger, like in my early 20s, especially when I was like fresh out of college, it is not fun having to deal with this, especially when you got to get an investigation involved and then you may not get the money back. It's scary. And ironically, one of my True Crime Sunday episodes was on Bernie Madoff, who was, of course, without the shadow of a doubt, the biggest Ponzi schemer in American history, maybe in world history, to be quite honest. But this right here was crazy. They said they got between $360,000 to $600,000 by the time they got caught. Like, they were going in. They were not wasting no time. Now, to quote what it said in the audio, it says once they get the information They start making wire transfers out of the victims' bank accounts. But in order for them to be successful, they have to transfer that money into a clean account. And that's where they began recruiting other people into a clean account. So for them, that was a no-brainer. All they had to do was remember is not to put the money into the same account. So it's like they basically had to keep making accounts over and over and over again. Once you put money into one account, you couldn't put no more money into it. You had to create a whole new account and keep doing it over and over and over again. I wonder how many times they had to do that, because naturally you'll send off bells and whistles if you try to say deposit $360,000 into one account. They'll be like, hold on, we got to put a hold on you because that's way beyond the deposit limit. So let's put a hold on there and see if this money is legit or not. So what did they do? They had to create multiple accounts over and over again to continue to put maybe small quantities of money in there. And that's why they began recruiting other people, because then it was looked real suspicious if these same 4 guys kept doing the same thing over and over again between 4 of them. So they had to have more people, which is how it expanded to 40 over time. So when it was all said and done, while they had 40 people that were involved with this, and who knows, it might be more, that's just how many they arrested, but let's hypothetically say it ended at 40 people. That doesn't mean there was 40 accounts. That means it was maybe 80, maybe 160, maybe more accounts that were made over time, because, no one's going to find it suspicious if one person has maybe 3 accounts, but someone might find it suspicious that this one person or 4 people between the 4 of them have 10 accounts, maybe with the same bank or various banks. Like it'll look suspicious. So they say, you know what? When we recruit more people, then we can make it look more legit. So that's why I said this scheme was very elaborate for them to pull off the way that they did. But all I'm gonna say is, people out there, just be careful with your finances. Make sure you're always checking your bank accounts. Make sure y'all have some kind of if you do have a bank account, I know most banks have it where they'll send you a notification for fraudulent activity that might be occurring with your account, and they'll ask you, did you make this transaction and everything like that. And then if you did, then you can go ahead and confirm and say that it was me. If not, please tell them no. That way they can try to get something to stop the person from doing it and maybe have them be dealt with by the law. But other than that, just be careful and always check your accounts every single time, whether you got money coming into the account, especially if you got money going out of the account. Make sure you're always checking that so you can check your bank statements as well. That's something that, especially as an adult, you need to be doing anyway, is keeping a book of your finances whenever you swipe that card, and then add up everything at the end of the month to make sure everything balances out. That way you know, okay, we good. I'm the one that made these transactions. There's nothing suspicious here on my account.